Hi all, my name is Sharon Patterson and welcome to my channel. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce myself and give you a little background. I have a 4-year bachelor's degree in visual art, and for the last 15 years I have either been an elementary art teacher or I have just worked with students with homework and after school and STEM activities. I love doing art. That's my passion. I also want art to be simple. I don't want it to be something that will want you to pull your hair out. So all the projects that are going to be on this channel are going to be simple projects. They're going to be easy. I'm going to give you a list every week of the supplies that you're going to need. Hopefully the supply list is not going to be very large. Some weeks the supplies may be just stuff around your house. But for today's project, you will need paint. I'm going to give you a suggestion on the paint to buy. Does not mean you have to buy it, but this is just the paint that I like personally. And on a side note, I also work for a craft store, so where I get my paints, that's the reason where I get them and why I get them. So here we go. So the supplies that you need today are going to be paint. And at the end of this video, I will put a list of paint supplies on the comment section so that you can get the paints for yourself. So the first thing you're going to need is titanium, can't even speak today, white. You're going to also need the brilliant yellow. You're going to need brilliant red. You're going to need I think this is called emerald green. You want a grass green. You don't want like a sap green. You don't want a darker green. You really want something bright for this project. Also, you're going to need Mars black. There's like a shiny black. Don't get that one. You want a flat black, so get the Mars black. Also, you're going to need a brilliant blue, I think is what it's called. So right there, you're going to need, oh, that's the blue. And you're also going to need a violet purple. You want the darker purple, not the lighter one. All right, and as you can see, I've already got my palette ready, and it's a very fancy palette. It's like a paper towel, a paper plate. So at the end of the project, it's going to be an easy cleanup because I'm just going to throw it away. Make sure when you put your paints on, it's always easier to add to the paint palette than to have to try to save it. So I always put as little on there as that I need, and if I have to, I can always put more on. So let's look at our project for today. Our project is going to be a fall scene, sort of. It's going to be more abstract. It's not going to be realistic. And we're going to be using our acrylic paints. And what I'm going to be using is, I'm using, I don't know if I have the paper. It's just watercolor paper. You can get it anywhere. You don't need to buy the expensive watercolor paper. Just buy the $5.99 pack or something similar. You don't need to spend a lot of money on this because you're learning and it's going to be fun. So you don't have to get all these expensive items just yet. Also, so you're going to need 2 brushes. You're going to need, this is probably probably a 1/4 inch a brush, and it's going to be flat. You're going to need a flat one, and you're going to need a sponge brush, 1 sponge brush, and also a palette with water. And I've already started a little bit practicing, and so that's my water. My water's already dirty. All right, so we're going to get started. So the first thing I want you to do is, you can lay it down on the ground, on the floor, Lord. Let me try that again. You can lay it on the table, not the floor. All right. Or if you want to paint on the floor, you can paint on the floor. It's your prerogative. So let's get started. the first color that I'm going to have us do is the red. I'm sorry, red. And we're going to build on colors. So there's not going to be a lot of cleaning the brush. So we're going to build on colors. So here in this corner, we're going to get started. So in this corner, we're just going to swap it back and forth. And because this is a little dry, I'm just going to add a little water. Just a little water to it to give it that easy to smooth it out. So, and I said we were not going to clean our brushes, and that's what I just done. I just cleaned our brushes. So don't clean your brush. All right. So the next color we're going to use is the Brilliant Yellow. And for the art teacher in me, yellow and red makes orange. Yellow and red is two of our primary colors. And you're going to start at the bottom and you're going to work it into the top. Start from the bottom where the orange is, the yellow, and then you're going to just work it into the top. You want to leave some of the red, and you want to always try to get where the color, the line isn't so harsh. I may go back over in some red, just a little red, just like that. Might get a little more red, and just put it at the very top. I don't know if you can see the difference. It's almost giving you an ombre look. If you know what that means, it kind of will taper into each other's color, and there's not a harsh line. So just be considerate of that you don't want a harsh line. Okay, I think I kind of like that. And I'm going to just take a little bit of my blue, I mean my purple, I'm sorry, of my purple. Just a little bit of my purple, and I'm going to just make it come into my, see, just to get it a little darker. Just a little of my purple, not much, just a little. I might go back in my red. You can always add more color to it. Just like that. Just gives that little pop of purple at the top. Alright. Just like that. Yeah, I kind of like that. Alright, so the next, you should have gotten, I'm sorry, I should have told you, you need to get a paper towel. We're not cleaning our brush, we're not putting more water on the brush. We're just taking the extra paint off of our sponge brush. Alright, here we go. Just like that. And I'm going to start with green. I'm going to start with my green. And I'm going to just start. And it's okay to have some of that orange in there. It's perfectly fine. Now I'm going to add a little water to help spread my green paint. You want to be able to get the two colors. Just like that. And see, this picture is seriously not going to be anything like the first picture. That's just how I go. Alright. I'm going to add a little more water to mine. Okay. Oh, I need a little more yellow. Didn't put enough on there. So, a little more yellow on my fancy palette there. And I want to try to make sure that my lines aren't harsh lines, but they all, like a ombre, will blend into each other. I don't want a harsh line. And now I'm adding some orange over my green. Just a little yellow off of my green. And I'm going to get my green back on my brush too. And just this is not something that has to be completely blended in. Leave the colors kind of looking like they're flow. Keep I guess the strokes in your picture. It don't have to be really, 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 really smooth. Okay? If you have to, please pause the video if I'm going too fast. And I feel like I may be going a little fast, and I don't mean to be, but you can always pause it and then come back, turn it back on. All right, so I'm gonna get some more green. More green. Oh, let's put that down. All right. Here again, this is your picture. I'm just giving you suggestions on how to do it, and hopefully you can get a picture that maybe even be better than mine, and that's okay too. I've done it again. I should never put water in front of me because I do this all the time and I don't mean to. All right, so my next color is going to be blue. My next color is blue. And we're going to start from, can you see that? Let me move my, there you go. There you go. All right, so from the bottom to the top, or just, I mean not to the top, but from the bottom, you're going to just whoosh it in. Is that a word? Whoosh it? Whoosh it in? Whoosh it in. Well, that's what I'm going to do anyway. I'm whooshing it in to the green. I'm whooshing it into the green. Whooshing it in. That's a new word. I'm going to get a little more green so that the two colors can start blending in there. Maybe a little more of the yellow. Just so that I can have that more of that ombre look. There we go. Now you have nothing like this picture, but it's going to be similar to the picture. So look at things in your daily life. Look at magazines, look on the internet, and get an idea of a picture that you want to do, but then put your own twist to it. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm putting my own twist to this. So, and with this pic, see, I didn't mean to do that, but that looks really, really good. I think I really like that. So that's, you know, that's another thing. Always know that there's always happy accidents. Things will always turn out sometimes better than what you would normally. If you just try to, you know, not be so worried about it, it may not look exactly like my picture. Okay? All right. Well, mine does not look like this picture either, but I'm pretty happy with it so far. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do my white. My white is going to give me that look of maybe wispy, the wind blowing, which I think the wind looks like it's blowing now, but it might, you know, So what I'm going to do is, this is the scary part, I'm going to just put some white. And I'm going to just get my white again. And look, I'm just putting the white, if you can see, on the edge of the brush. And whoo, this is the scary part. This is the scary part. So I may get another brush. I might get this brush and add a little water to tone it down a little bit. Just like that. There we go. All right. I need a little more white on the other side. All right, so what do we think? Do I need some more white up here? Maybe a little more white on this side. Maybe got a little too much white. So I'm just going to get my red. But at this point, you need to know when to stop. I'm looking here and I don't like that. Okay. Need that red again. Better. Now I'm going to get that orange. At this stage, we don't want to blend. We just want to lay it on there and go. Leave it on there. Let it lay. Don't blend it. That's the hard part for me because I am so a blender. But you will be more happy with the outcome if you just keep going around it. Don't let it. Okay, much better. Much better. I don't know if you all can see the betterness, but I'm loving this now. All right. You wonder, I bet you were saying, well, where else are we putting the purple? All right. So now we're going to go back in. We're just going to do the purple just in spots. We're going to leave that purple just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go back to the white. Go over that purple just a little bit. Perfect. Okay, I think that's all I'm going to do with this part of the picture. All right. So now, I think I like it, well, I like my background just the way it is. So now we're going to start with the tree. This is still going to be a little wet, so we're going to start at the bottom, and hopefully that's going to dry enough here. By the time we get back up here, this should be dry. Once again, you can stop your video and let it dry and then finish the tree. But because of time and everything, I'm just going to do the best I can. All right, so here we go. So we're going to start at the bottom. Actually, no. I'm going to actually start about right here and go down. And when we think of a tree, most trees are not straight. They have lumps in them. They have bumps. They're not a straight tree. So don't worry about trying to get this as straight as a stick or as straight as a line, because you're not going to, or I'm not going to. All right, and then can you all see that? All right. So I had a class the other day and we did this project, and the student was like, "Can I have 2 tree trunks?" And I'm like, "This is your tree, and yes, you may. It's your tree. You make the decision of what it's going to be, how big it's going to be." Like, I think that needs to be a little wider. And I'm just going to let this wispy out, if that's a word, wispy out. All right, I'm going to make that just a little big. Oh, see, this tree's already got a mind of its own. Right there's another one. Just like that. When we paint, we have a tendency, or I've noticed a tendency, of pushing straight down on the brush. We want to be able to act like we're playing with a feather and letting that feather just glide over the canvas or the paper or whatever medium or paper you're using. So my bottom of my trunk has already started forming, and I see that this one's going to have 2 limbs just like that. Your limbs, you may have only 1 limb, you may have 2 limbs. It's all up to you. But there we go. This one has just a mind of its own. It's branching out. Here's another branch. This one is almost saying hello to you. Pretty cool. I actually am loving this even more than the other one. And as you can see, I've done this 2 or 3 times already, this project, and each time the tree, it just evolves into something prettier and prettier. So be willing to let it change. Don't be so set on it being exactly like mine, because you might not like it when it's exactly like mine, but you may like it with something that you put personally on it. All right, I'm going to put my palette back here. So let me see here. This one maybe have right there. So at this point in the painting, you're just basically deciding where you're going to put your limbs, because you might only have 3 limbs on your picture, on this, or like me, mine's going to have a lot of limbs. This one may have to go up here though. This one may come down here. This one may have a wispy one. And if I don't talk, it's just because I get so consumed with the picture that I get excited. Once I start seeing the end of it, I'm like, oh, I couldn't have guessed better. I couldn't have thought about how pretty this picture was going to be. Okay. Let's see here. That one just got a small one right there. Just a little one. I might come back this way though. All right. Let's see here. We've got a limb that's going to come off of this, I think. Alright, I think I can say that this one is done. This part of it is. And because I guess I was drawing this way, my tree has a little tilt to it. Alright. So now comes the fun part. Now we're going to put leaves on here. And to make a leaf, we're going to put some red on one side and yellow on another side. Yellow and red. And we're going to do the opposite. Yellow and red is going to go on the bottom where the green is, and the green and yellow or green and blue or whatever is going to go on top. So we're going to start by just making, oh, this is the scary part, just like that. There's my leaf. This one may take a lot of paint. That's okay. You can do one color and then come back over it with the red. Just like that. Or you can add the red and the yellow together. You want to make sure that we have the same color. Oh, see, look how pretty. Pretty, 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 pretty. I'm going to put one right here. Now we'll get started on this side. Once you put it, lay it down, that again, once you lay it down, see that one got too muddy for me. You just leave it. Just like that. go back over it with just some yellow because it didn't get enough yellow in it. Okay. Now, up here is going to be green and white. Green and white. So basically, you're doing a half a O and then just bringing it in. Just like that. So see, it's an easy project. It took less than 40 minutes to do it. Okay. Just like that. You know, I do recommend that you wait until it dries. But for me, I'll just hope for the best. Okay. I think I'm done. I think I have done all I'm going to do. This is the finished product. Let me bring it a little closer so everybody can see it. So there we go. All right. Guys, thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, please go below and like it. And if you wanted more like this, please subscribe so you can be notified in the notification button for when I do add some more. And I'm planning to add at least one every week, maybe more. So until next time, thanks so much and have a great day.